Welcome everyone. So this is going to be more of a life experience video for anybody who is thinking about possibly going into guitar repair. I was sitting here working on a client's guitar tonight. It's roughly 12:30 in the morning. And I started thinking to myself, what can I give that is valuable to people who watch my channel? And I remember starting off that there wasn't a lot of information on getting your foot into the door into guitar repair. So what I would like to do is just kind of take a quick moment and just share my journey over the last 5 years. So I started off 5 years ago as an apprentice working for a luthier who mainly specialized in classical instruments. There was a few classical guitars that would come in and every so often acoustics. So traditional training on guitar was very limited for me. I spent a lot of my time just practicing at home. So the first thing for anybody who's getting involved, practice. Practice a lot. I have a theory. You need at least do something 100 times before you can feel comfortable enough to do it on somebody else's guitar. Even though I do guitar repair, I do have limited services that I do because I have not had enough experience in certain things. And if you want to create the number one thing that people don't do at first is they don't trust you. So the first way to create trust, don't do something you don't know how to do. That is probably the number one biggest thing I can honestly tell you, because no one trusts you in the beginning, especially with their beloved guitars, because I've had a lot of people come in with guitars that, even though they may not be expensive, the sentimental value means so much to them. If you were to make a mistake, it's crushing. Fortunately, I have not ran into that, but I can just imagine. So going back into the whole practice thing, go out, you can go online and you can buy bulk necks, bulk bodies, practice refretting, practice doing crowns. Just keep doing it in your sleep until you can't even, all you think about is fretting. The same way with doing setups. Grab some of your guitars and just practice setups and practice setups and practice setups. Now, I'm not saying this is a substitute for actual training, because it's not. Because one thing that you will learn, especially doing work in a professional environment, the difference between the do-it-yourselfer and the professional is when a professional makes a mistake, he knows how to correct the mistake. Because we do make mistakes. There's no one out there that is perfect. But the biggest difference is, have you had enough experience in order to fix the mistake that you just made? So let's move on into trust. Like I said before, nobody trusts you. Just like now, I'm sitting here talking to you, starting a YouTube channel. You all don't know me. How can you trust the information that I'm giving you is legit? I don't expect you to. That's the whole thing. The more I put out videos, the more you put out work with your guitar repairs, the more your reputation you get, the more people will start to trust you. So moving forward, my plan was to work from home because I do have a full-time career. And I didn't expect to truthfully start this so soon in life. I was actually going to do this as a retirement job when I became an old fart, and we probably don't have Social Security at that time. But I was friends with a gentleman who owned a music store, and he kind of convinced me to go ahead and start doing this. So I did. It was a bad experience. I won't get into detail just in case he watches, because I don't like to shame people. But it was a bad experience, so I decided to go ahead and start on my own, working from home. And the first thing I learned, working from home, and they don't know you, with no reputation, they're not going to come to your establishment to have you fix a guitar. They would rather come to a building that is an actual shop where, even though there has nothing to do with your quality of work, it is just something that makes them feel like you're legit. So there were some hurdles on how do I build this? Because now I run into a second problem. Second problem, I work part-time. That means I am not around to consistently pick up people's equipment when they want to. And well, clients don't work on your time. They have their availability when they have availability to drop things off to you. So that was the next problem I ran into. So I'm saying so way too many times. I had to figure out how to create a reputation and how to create some form of way of being able to get people to trust me in the local community. So I started off reaching out to churches, and I actually nailed a few gigs working on church equipment. After that, I started knocking on some studio doors. We have a few local studios and recording studios, and I landed a few gigs from them working on musicians' guitars before they did recordings. Still wasn't quite feeling that I was doing what I needed to do at the time, so I started knocking on more doors, because let me tell you what, you knock on doors. You have to go out and make everything happen on your own. It just doesn't come walking through your shop or your front door of your home, your garage of your home. You have to get out there and make it happen. So the next thing I did, I started going to local within five city area of people had mom and pop guitar shops that didn't have anybody do repairs. And again, who am I? They have no clue. They've been around forever and my name was nothing to them. So I had to swallow some pride, and I asked if I could do some in-house repair work for them for free. So I spent probably a total of 30 hours combined among all the different shops that I landed, just doing setups and some basic repairs, just little things for them. Well, I finally developed their trust. Then I was finally able to start an actual setup that worked for my lifestyle, where they need somebody to repair guitars. They take the guitars in anytime between Tuesday all the way through the weekend. Then the next following Tuesday, I pick up the guitars from every location, then have them back on that following Saturday. Works perfect for me. Allows me to work from home. I don't have people coming to my home, because I'm not going to lie, it's a little awkward having people coming to your house and they look around, and yeah, this is probably the best arrangement that I could possibly come up with. But I'm probably just rambling at this point. Excuse me. So the biggest thing to take away from this is practice a lot, find a formal education. I still plan on trying to move forward into my education. Like for instance, I don't do neck repairs, and I don't do bridge repairs, because I've only done probably about 10 neck repairs and probably maybe a handful of bridge. To me, that's not sufficient enough for me to say, yes, I'm confident in doing work for you. But I've done hundreds of refrets, hundreds of crowns and polishes. I have changed pickups many times, tuners many times. I've done a lot of that work. I'm just getting into doing actual refinishing work. All right, and so truthfully, I probably need to find somebody to teach me that, because there's a lot trying to put out the biggest points that I feel that nobody tells you, because everybody makes everything look sweet and easy, and you got to hustle. So for all you people that are out there that do this for a living, leave a comment down below. Tell me about how your experience was when you first started out. Everybody has a different way of jumping into the game. Everyone has a different way of learning. And speaking of that, I am about to start a series of videos of how I do it repairs. Not how to do it, it's how I do it. I was hesitant on doing those because there's so many different ways to skin a cat in this business, and I just do the way that I was shown and the way that I have adapted over time to be more efficient in my workflow. So if you're interested in seeing those, if you're a first-time viewer, like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.